What's happening, guys? Back at you with another video, and in this video I am going to be listing off the top 10 Funko Pops that came out this year. Top 10 Funko Pops of 2020. So let's get to it. Alright, so this year has been an interesting year, to say the least. Not just for Funko Pops, but just in general, stuff that's been going on. It's been a rough year and all that. But one of the good highlights of the year have been collecting, Funko Pops or figures and just different things like that. That's honestly has been one of the highlights for the year for me personally. But Funko Pops being one of the biggest collector lines that I collect. So of course I had to make a video of the top 10 Funko Pops of 2020. Now this is going to be like pretty much the top 10 that I have in my collection right now. It's not necessarily the top 10 that will be like all throughout, so it's basically the top 10 that I have in my collection right now that I got this year. So that's what we're going to be doing. So let's go ahead and start off with number 10. Alright, so at number 10, this is probably my favorite one of the line. So they came out with the Marvel Zombies line this year for Funko Pops, and I gotta say it's one of a good line to collect for me personally, because I just like the design and overall what they've been doing with the zombie line and stuff like that. They have plenty more coming on the way. They announced a lot more zombie pops coming on the way. I gotta say this one was my favorite out of the line, and that is going to be the Zombie Wolverine. For those of y'all that know, I'm a huge Wolverine fan, so of course this one was probably going to be one of my favorites in the zombie line. It was definitely one I had to get and add to the collection. So just overall design of this pop is kind of what made it top 10 for me, and also too being one of my favorites from the line also. So I gotta say this one was probably one of my favorites from the line, and then it also has a good design too, with the way that details are going on, like it's zombified Wolverine and stuff. It looks pretty cool and all that. So I had to put this one on the list at number 10 for me. Alright, moving on to number 9. Number 9 being one of my favorite Disney characters. I mentioned in a previous video, this character being one of my favorite Disney characters. So I had to put this one at number 9. I had to put this one on top 10 list just because I just like it overall and the way it was. So at number 9, we have the Summer Stitch. Now this is the scented Summer Stitch. I like this one. It's a pretty cool looking pop. Not too many details, but the design is pretty good on it. Basically it was plucked from the movie. If y'all remember the scene from the movie where he has like the snow cone and all that. So this is a summertime Stitch. I just gotta say overall, just design overall is pretty cool on it. I do like it, and it's also scented. I believe it's strawberry scented. So that's pretty cool. I had to put this one on the list just for me. So it goes in at number 9. Alright, so at number 8 we got our first entry from San Diego Comic-Con this year. So with San Diego Comic-Con being sort of canceled, and just pretty much all the cons being canceled this year and being virtual cons and stuff like that, we still were able to get Funko exclusives from this year's San Diego Comic-Con, which is pretty good. So this one was definitely one of my top wants from this year, that this year's San Diego Comic-Con that I wanted to get. So at number 8, we have the Nightcrawler from San Diego Comic-Con. So this is part of the 20th anniversary line of X-Men. So this is definitely one I wanted to get from the con. One of my top favorites, one of my top wants from the con this year. So I definitely wanted to get it. I just like the overall design and details of it. It looks pretty cool, and I definitely had to get into the collection. So at number 8, we have the Nightcrawlers from San Diego Comic-Con. Alright, so at number 7 we come to a DC character. This one was a little bit under the radar for me, but looking back through my collection, I pretty much like was looking through all my collection, and then I came upon this one, and I just thought about it again, and I remembered it, and I was saying, you know, this is actually not a bad pop. It has some good detail, and pretty much good details, and pretty much like a good design and all that. So what we have at number 7, from DC Comics, we have the Devastator from Batman. It's one of the combinations of Batman from the Dark Metal series. So this one's definitely pretty cool. For me, this one was put onto the list for design and details, and it's pretty heavy pop. I gotta say, it's definitely a heavy pop, probably one of the heaviest pops that are like not a 6-inch, but like if it's like a basic size pop, this has to be one of the heaviest I've ever like held. Like, it is so big, it's so like heavy and all that. But honestly, what put it into the list for me is the design and details of this pop. Like, it looks pretty good, honestly. It doesn't even look like a pop, honestly, too much, but like, it looks pretty good, I gotta say. So this is the Devastator pop. This is pretty much a combination of Doomsday and Batman. So if y'all are familiar with the DC Dark Metals comic series, y'all know what this character is. But this one is at number 7. I had to put it on the list at number 7. So let's go ahead and move on to number 6. So at number 6 we have, I just thought about something. So at number 6 we have our only 6-inch pop that made it into the top 10 for me this year, that I actually picked up. So at number 6 we have the Target exclusive Slifer the Sky Dragon. For those of you that don't know, I like Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of my childhood shows I used to watch as a kid, and I just, you know, I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Dueling and all that, and so like I had to pick this one up because it's one of my favorites, Egyptian gods. So I had to pick this one up, and just in general, I want to pick up most of the Duel Monsters characters from the show. But this one, I have to say, one of the best 6 inches this year for me. And honestly, it's just pretty cool design, pretty cool looking, and overall, I like the details and design of this. So this is at number 6. Let's go ahead and get on to number 5. So this year, this past year, there has been something Star Wars related that has been big this year, and that is the Mandalorian. Everybody knows about Mandalorian, and of course, Baby Yoda, but you know his real name being Grogu, of course, but everybody calls him Baby Yoda. But I gotta say, the Mandalorian like show being one of the biggest things this year, and just for Star Wars in general too. This pop has still remained, like, even though it came out at the beginning of the year, this pop has still remained one of my favorites going all year long, and it still is one of my favorites in my Star Wars collection. So I had to give it up to this pop being one of my favorites, and put it on the list for the top 10. So at number 5 we have the Mandalorian with Flamethrower. Like, I highly enjoyed the show. I like it so much, and just in general, the pops look pretty good for like the Mandalorian series. And the way this Mandalorian is, I definitely wanted to pick this one up. And the way he has his flamethrower, it looks so cool. And this one came out beginning of the year, like January or February, I believe, and it still remained one of my favorites from this year. So I definitely enjoyed this one. I definitely like this pop, and I'm definitely glad to have it in collection. But let's go ahead and get on to number 4. So at number 4 we have another entry from San Diego Comic-Con. Y'all knew this one was going to be on a list because it has been on one of my top 10 lists in previous videos, and I always mention it and say it's one of my favorites in the collection. So at number 4, we have the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Super Saiyan God Goku. Now this is such an amazing pop. Y'all knew this was going to make it onto the top 10 list because I just mention it in videos a lot, and I just keep continuously say that's one of my favorites pops this year that came out. So of course this was going to be on the list for me. So just overall design and the way it is, the character and all that is what made it put it on the list for me in general. So I gotta say, number 4 we have Super Saiyan God Goku. But let's go ahead and move on. Alright, so at number 3 is a pop that I recently got, like literally a few days ago. Came in right before Christmas. And honestly, whenever I saw this pop, I saw the glam shots for this pop, and then finally getting it in hand was definitely, I had to say, was definitely a well-designed pop. Overall details and all that and design was what put it onto the list for me. And just in general, just seeing it for the first time and having it in hand was like, I really got excited for it. So, and also just in general, like it put it onto the top 10 list for me. So at number 3 we have the Funimation exclusive helmet Ochako. So this is the where she has like the helmet, which is definitely one I wanted to get. Of course I'm not able to get the other one that's high value, but whenever they announced this one for this year, like a few months ago or so, they announced it and I saw the glam shots for it. I was like, I definitely had to get one of Ochako with the helmet on. And also too, they have a chase one, of course, that has that without the helmet, but honestly I don't even really care about the chase that much. I really just wanted the one with the helmet, and then just getting it in hand right before Christmas was exciting and all that. And the overall design of this character and the way this pop is cool, and I just like the way it is. But we finally got a helmet. So at number 2 was a pop that came out this year that I've been seeing on a lot of people's lists. Like a lot of people have been saying this pop was in their top 10 list, and I totally agree with this. It has made it to my top 10 list. It was such an iconic moment in this movie and one of the best Marvel pops to come out this year. So at the number 2 spot, we have from Avengers Endgame, the I Am Iron Man pop. Now this is such an amazing, awesome pop. The overall details and design of this pop is so amazing. The moment in this movie is so iconic. And so that's just the way this moment was in the movie, being iconic, this pop being so awesome with design and details, and just being so cool, made it onto the top 10 list for me, and one of my favorite pops to come out this year, I gotta say. So such an awesome pop. So at number 2 spot we have the I Am Iron Man pop. So we have made it to the number 1 spot for the top 10 Funko Pops of 2020. For those of y'all that know, this pop may not be a surprise to y'all. I mentioned it in previous videos how it's always been one of my favorites to come out this year. It was a pop I have been waiting for them to make, and they finally made it this year at San Diego Comic-Con. So I was definitely one of my top wants from this year at San Diego Comic-Con. Definitely a pop I wanted them to make eventually, and they finally made it, and they blew it out the park with this one. So at the number 1 spot, we have the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Bakugo from My Hero Academia. So those of y'all that know, this is not a surprise for people. You know, I've seen it on many top 10 lists. People have been putting it on their top 10 list, and it's usually in one of the top spots whenever I see them. And honestly, like, it's one of my favorite pops that came out this year. Such an amazing pop, awesome details and design. The way they just have him in his full hero costume. Definitely wanted them to make him in like his full hero costume, and then the added bonus of him using his quirk, like they did effects where he's actually using his quirk. It's so awesome, it's so well designed, the details are amazing on it, and it's one of my favorites that came out this year. That's why I put it onto the top 10 list, and that's why it got catapulted to #1 spot for me. Just everything about it is awesome, and just, man, it's amazing. It's amazing pop, and definitely one I wanted them to make. Definitely my top want from San Diego Comic-Con this year, and just glad to have it into the collection now. So it's such an amazing pop. So this is what I have at the #1 spot for me personally, as in the top 10 pops of 2020. So down in the comments below, I'd definitely like to hear y'all thoughts on what y'all think are the top 10 Funko Pops of 2020. Definitely like to hear from y'all. So leave it down in the comments below if you can make a list of the top 10 pops of 2020. It'll be like top 10 favorites, top 10 best looking pops, or anything like that you want to say in the comments down below. Please let me know. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. I know this year has been crazy for everyone, but I just hope everyone has a great and awesome 2021. I hope everything works out for everybody in this new coming year. I hope everybody has an awesome year for 2021. I hope everybody does well. Hope everyone stays safe for everything going on. So make sure y'all stay safe, and I hope everybody has an awesome year coming up for 2021. So that's going to do it for this video. Hope y'all all enjoyed it. Remember, if you want to be a part of Team Legendary, all you got to do is subscribe and turn notifications on so you know when I post another video. Hope y'all all have an awesome day, and remember, be legendary.